Hello, beautiful people. So today I'm going to be talking about my nose piercing, and as you can see, I do not have it anymore, and I haven't had it for a few months, and I'm kind of just going to be explaining like what happened with it and why I don't have it anymore. So before the video begins, please give it a big thumbs up and comment and subscribe to join my little family, and I hope you enjoy, so please keep watching. So first, just a little background about my nose piercing is I got it the first time I got it pierced. So I got it pierced twice. You may not know that, but in my previous video I made another video about like my nose piercing experience. And when I made that, I had only had it pierced once, but I got it pierced twice. So the first time I got it pierced was January 18th of 2015. So last year. And I got it at a place that I don't recommend. I'll put the name down below. And I'm not gonna go into too much detail about it because I said it in my other video, but it wasn't too painful. It was just, like I said, it was just basically like a shot in my nose. So if you don't like shots, then don't get your nose pierced. But it wasn't too bad. They had told me that it would take about 4 to 6 months to heal, or longer depending on how my body adjusted to it and how I heal with piercings. And so I was like, okay, and they gave me sea salt and told me to mix it with water and then do a sea salt rinse. So just down and have my my nose piercing submerged in the water for like 10 minutes or so. I don't remember how long, but something like that. And I never did that. I did that for maybe the first week, and then I stopped doing that because I was like, oh, it's taking too much time. I don't want to deal with that. So that was the first mistake I made when I got my nose pierced. The first time was I didn't do that. And so don't do that. That's bad. Always listen to what they say. Always listen to what any piercer says to do to take care of your piercing, because it's never going to heal properly or turn out the way you want if you don't help it heal and clean it and take care of it the way you're supposed to. So it had been like 6 months and it's still unhealed, and I was like, I guess I'm just like, I just take longer to heal or something like that. And I got this thing called H2 Ocean, and there's videos about it on YouTube. And when I went to another piercing place and asked them like if I should change the type of piercing that I had, if that's why it's not healing and stuff like that, they asked me what I was using, and I said, oh, I'm using H2 Ocean. They said, don't ever use that. It's really bad. All the chemicals it has in it, they don't state everything on the bottle and all these things. And I said, oh, I didn't realize that. So I was kind of making it worse in a sense. So I stopped using that when they told me. And I threw the bottle away, and they also told me that the type of piercing that I had was the best kind because it had a flat back to it on the inside, so it prevented it from coming out really easily, which was a good thing so that I wouldn't lose it, but it was also a bad thing because if I caught it on something, it wouldn't just come right out. It would get, you know what I mean? It would get stuck, it wouldn't come out, and then my nose would end up like, it would end up bleeding and stuff. So that was the bad part about it. But it was, pretty sure it was titanium. It might have been steel, but whichever type it was the best kind to have. And so it wasn't like I was allergic to it or anything. It was something that was not causing the irritation in my nose. So it wasn't the reason that my nose piercing was irritated, or the reason that the skin around the piercing was irritated. So then I went to a third place, a third piercing place, and my mom was getting her eyebrow piercing changed or something. I can't remember. She was getting a different jewelry. And I asked the guy, because it was the place at which my mom got her nose pierced. And I asked the guy like about it and if I should change it or what, like to a hoop. And he said, no, do not change it to a hoop if it's not healed. At this time it was January of this year, so January of 2016. And so it'd been almost a year since I had gotten my nose pierced the first time, and it still had not healed. So I was kind of getting frustrated, and I was kind of getting tired of it. And so I asked him what the best option was, and he said, well, what you could do is I could take it out right now, and then you could wait a few weeks for it to fully heal, and then you can come back and I can re-pierce it. Or I can take it out right now and I can just re-pierce it again. Because I guess where it was pierced through too much cartilage. So it could have been, there's a little indentation in your nose. So right here was where it was supposed to be put in. So where it's like thinner, where the cartilage is thinner, so that it wouldn't hurt as much and that it would be easier for it to heal. And that's not where my first piercing was put. It was put up higher or down further, I don't know, somewhere where it was in too much cartilage. So my mom and I, she got her piercing changed out, and she got new jewelry, and then we went and got something to eat, and she said, well, let's just take some time to think about it, and if you want to get it done today, we can do it again. I said, okay. And so we went and got something to eat, and I was like, I want to get this over with, I want to do it now. So we went back, he took it out, and you could see how irritated it was, and then he pierced it in another spot, and this time it hurt more because my nose was already so irritated, and so it was a lot more painful. But I was willing to go through the pain if it was going to heal finally. So then he gave me like the right type of cleaning supply to clean it, and it was the same type of stuff that you use to clean your earrings when you get your ears pierced. And so I was like, oh, okay, I know this stuff works because I've had my ears pierced before, and they've healed properly. So I was like, okay, I trust this. So after a few weeks, I realized it is the same thing is happening. And basically I was getting keloids again. I kept getting a keloid around my nose piercing, and it was never going away. It kept happening, and no matter what I did, like I ended up using uncoated aspirin and like smushing it up and putting it with water, making a paste and leaving that on my nose, and eventually the keloid would go down, but it would only last a few days, and then it would come back, and then I would do like a sea salt paste, and the same thing would happen. So then I was getting so tired of it not healing and just being in pain all the time because of it, that in June of this year, so in June of 2016, I took it out, and I have not put it back in because it closed up. First of all, this is a little tip. If you have acrylic nails on and you're trying to take out a nose piercing, that is difficult to take off, where you have to pull, because for this one, you have to pull the top part and the bottom part at the same time. So you have to get into your nose and do it at the same time. And with acrylics, it was not easy because I couldn't grip onto the bottom part of it. I could grip the top because it was the jewel and the jewel was big enough, but the bottom part was so flat that I couldn't grip onto it. So I used pliers. Bad idea. That's another tip. Do not use pliers because, one, they were dirty, so it made it worse, and it was not sanitary. Yeah, it was bad, all bad, but I got it out and I was happy about it, and I was like, okay, cool, I got it out, it's all good. So yeah, so I guess maybe, I don't know if it was that I just don't heal well, like that nose piercings are just not my thing, that my cartilage is sensitive and that it won't heal as well. I don't know, or just that I didn't take care of it properly in the beginning so that it didn't end up healing ever again. I don't know. But it never healed, so I decided to take it out because I was done dealing with it. If I were to ever get it pierced again, I would get it on the opposite side. So I would get it on the right side of my nose instead of the left. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that though because I really don't want to deal with all the pain I went through again. So yeah, the best advice I can give you is, if you're gonna get your nose pierced, just really research, because it's worth it and you won't have to go through as much pain as I did or as much like frustration. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't let anybody, including yourself, ever make you think you're not worth it, because you are. And I will see you guys next time. Love you guys. Bye.